morning and a very warm welcome. You are watching JanataTelevision and this is the English Bulletin with me, Anustha Acharya. The top stories first. Coalition partners speed up seat distribution for local poll. Final decision will be taken after studying reports from the districts. Election fever grips the nation. Election Commission ready to hold polls on May 13. New sub-variant of COVID-19 reported in several countries. Government urges to maintain health standards to avoid infection. Death toll from Pakistan's air raids in Afghanistan rises. Officials claim 47 people have been killed in cross-border strike. And Chelsea beat Crystal Palace to reach FA Cup final. The victory sets up showdown with Liverpool. And now the news in detail. The ruling coalition has given the responsibility of seat distribution for the local level election to a task force formed for the purpose. The top leaders also agreed during yesterday's meeting to speed up the distribution of seats. An election preparation and monitoring committee has already been formed under the leadership of senior Congress leader Ramchandra Paudel. The ruling parties have agreed to discuss the reports from the district and reach a conclusion. The final decision will be taken only after the task force submits the seat-sharing proposal to the top leaders. It has been decided that the decision of the metropolis and sub-metropolis will be taken by the centre. The nation is currently in election mode as the Election Commission and all the political parties are focused on the upcoming local level election on May 13. A report. The latest meetings, discussions, interactions and assemblies of political parties are found to be centered on the election, while the Commission has completed the management of materials required for the election as well as the requisite training. Political parties are making final preparations for recommending the candidates, while the Commission is gearing up to mobilizing the election materials and the election officials to the voting centers. The Election Commission has completed the trainings of trainers for election at 8 places of the country. The training is for the Chief Election Officer and the District Election Officer. Such trainings were held at Biratnagar, Thulikhel, Pokhara and Nepalganj on April 13 and at Janakpur, Hetauda, Butwal and Thangadi on April 15. The Commission has already issued the appointment letter to the election officers. The election officers have already set out for the respective election centers in course of carrying out the preparation works. They will formally set up the election office in their assigned areas on April 21. At the meantime, the political parties too have completed most of the election-related assemblies and training at local level. Meanwhile, the Election Commission has emphasized on the maximum use of electronic media and social media for voter education based on the conclusion that the traditional process of voter education was costly and ineffective. The Election Commission also plans to set up voter education information centers at the voting centers 2 days before the election in order to make the voter education effective and reduce the number of invalid votes. Experts have urged the people living in Tarai region to be on high alert as heat waves are expected to blow the Lumbini and other districts of the western Tarai in the next 3 days. According to an early warning issued by the Meteorological Department of India and Bangkok-based Asian Disaster Preparedness Center, hot winds are expected in the western Tarai districts, including Lumbini province of Nepal on April 18, 19 and 20. Temperatures above 40 degrees are called Lu. According to the records released by the Weather Forecast Division, the temperature has reached above 40 degrees Celsius in 7 places of the country. Earlier, experts have been warning of rising temperature in Nepal this year. Climate and disaster expert Dr. Dharmaraj Upreti said that the temperature will rise sharply in the western Tarai for 3 days from April 18
यो वैशाखको 5 गतिदेखि फेरि लगातार 3 दिन तराईको पश्चिम तराई खास गरेर पश्चिम तराईको तापक्रम अत्यधिक वृद्धि हुँदैछ र त्यो तापक्रम चाहिँ 40 डिग्रीको हाराहारीमा धेरैवटा ठाउँमा तराईको जिल्लामा 40 डिग्री वा सोभन्दा माथि पुग्ने अवस्था छ र 40 डिग्री वा सोभन्दा माथि तापक्रम 2 वा 2 भन्दा बढी दिन रह्यो भने त्यसलाई चाहिँ लूको अवस्था अर्थात् हिट वेभको अवस्था भनिन्छ।
Climate expert Dr. Upreti said the average rise in global temperature is now 1.1 degrees Celsius, and the 122-year-old data released by India shows that the average temperature has risen by 1.86 degrees Celsius. Dr. Upreti suggested that the election program be limited to a short period of time to avoid the effects of rising temperatures due to unpredictable environment. A 17-year-old singer who had filed a complaint accusing actor Paul Saha of raping her has changed her statement at Tanahu District Court on Sunday. While recording her statement at the court, the girl said that she had not been raped as claimed earlier by her. According to Min Bahadur Kunwar, a court officer, the minor told the court that the information stated in the earlier complaints was false. According to Kunwar, the court recorded the girl's statement in a closed hearing in the presence of her father. In her statement, she said she had lodged the complaint after being provoked by some people. The girl's parents are scheduled to record their statements in court on Monday. The case will proceed on the basis of her parents' court statement. In her police complaints, the girl had claimed that Saha had raped her in Pokhara, Tanahu and Gaidakot in the past. She had also filed another case against Saha at the area police office in Gaidakot, Nawalparasi. The girl's father also lodged a complaint at the district police office in Tanahu on Friday 23, stating that Saha had repeatedly raped his daughter. This is Janata Bulletin. We'll be right back after a short break. Welcome back. After the break, we continue with other national news. The government yesterday confirmed 15 new cases of COVID-19 across the country. According to the Health Ministry, the number of active cases of COVID-19 has dropped to 400 after 46 people recovered from the disease. So far, a total of 978,665 people have tested positive for the virus in Nepal, while 966,339 people have already recovered. No new death from the virus was reported yesterday. The death toll from virus remains constant at 11,951. Nepal is currently among top 61 countries affected by coronavirus. USA tops the list with 82.31 million cases, followed by India with 43.04 confirmed cases. The virus has infected more than 504.75 million people across the world and has claimed over 6.60 million lives. More than half of the population of Nepal is directly dependent on agriculture. Nepal has yet to address the issues of farmers, although it is said to be an agriculture-oriented nation. A report. Person whose livelihood is completely dependent on agriculture. They produce food products for the community and the nation as a whole. Agriculture includes cultivation of crops, raising of orchards, and animal husbandry. A farmer can be a laborer who works for his employer on the farm or can also be the owner of the farm. Generally, in a good economic system, the farmer themselves own the farm and they hire laborers to work on the fields. It is sad that the issues of the farmers are still neglected, although Nepal is regarded as an agriculture nation.
कृषि क्षेत्रको विकासको लागि अवरोधकहरू को हुन् त भन्दा नवोदारवादीहरू हुन्, अनि त्यसपछि पुँजीवादीहरू हुन् र साम्राज्यवादीहरू हुन्। र जबसम्म हामीले नवोदारवादको विकल्पमा समाजवादी अर्थतन्त्रको विकास गर्न सक्दैनौँ, साम्राज्यवादी र पुँजीवादीहरूलाई चाहिँ निमेट गर्न सक्दैनौँ, कृषिमा समाजवादी रूपान्तरणको सम्भावना छैन भन्ने मूल्य र मान्यतालाई चाहिँ हृदयङ्गम गर्दै हामीहरू कृषिको समाजवादी रूपान्तरणको प्रक्रियामा छौँ अहिले।
During a program organized in Kathmandu, the Deputy Secretary of CPN Unified Socialist, Dr. Bijay Kumar Paudel, said that the agriculture products should be brought by the government if it does not get proper price.
स्थानीय निर्वाचनको घोषणापत्रमा संरक्षित कृषि अर्थात् कृषि उत्पादन बजारमा मतलब चाहिँ उचित मूल्यमा बिकेन भने राज्यले खरिद गरिदिनु पर्दछ भन्ने कुरा हामीले उठाएका छौँ। त्यो खरिद गर्ने र राज्यले आफै वितरण गर्ने मेकानिजम बन्न सक्दैन। त्यो स्तरको समाजवादी व्यवस्थापन अहिले बन्न सक्दैन। होलसेल व्यापारीलाई बिक्री गर्ने र त्यो गर्दाखेरि केही चुहावट होला, कति चुहावट होला भन्दा चाहिँ मोटामोटी हिसाब मैले गरेको छु। देशभरि सबै किसानहरूको उत्पादन खरिद गरिदिने हो भने त्यसमा 10 देखि 12 अरबसम्म चुहावट होला।
There is artificial shortage in the market, although there is enough production to meet the demand, and this has badly affected the farmers. Stakeholders say that the state should formulate a different budget system to address agricultural sector.
जसरी यो चाहिँ त बजारको अभावमा आफ्नो श्रम सिप लगाएर उत्पादन गरेका चीज सडकमा फाल्नु पर्ने अथवा गाईका दुधको पोखेर चाहिँ त सारा सडक सेतै बनाउनु पर्ने जुन अवस्था छ त्यो अवस्था नरहन आउँदैन भन्ने कुरामा हामी स्वस्थ छौँ। यसमा पनि एउटा कुरा अझ विचार पुर्याउनु पर्ने कुरा के रहेछ भन्नु होला भने हाम्रा कृषि उत्पादनहरू हुन्छन् तर हामी बजारमा जहिले पनि हाहाकार देख्छौँ किन?
Those present during the program urged the government to play an important role to ensure the rights of the farmer. COVID-19 cases are ticking up again in the northeast USA as the new Omicron subvariant took hold of the region. A report. As the COVID-19 crisis was returning to normalcy after 2 years, the rate of COVID-19 infection in the northeast USA doubled last week compared to 1 month ago, according to a report in the Washington Post. This has raised serious concerns worldwide about the prospect of a new wave of COVID-19 across the world. The BA.2 Omicron subvariant now makes up more than 85% of new COVID-19 cases in the US, according to the latest data from the US Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. The BA.2 subvariant is thought to be about 30% more transmissible than the original BA.1 Omicron strain, early study suggested. The administration of US President Joe Biden announced that it is extending the nationwide mask order for public transit for 15 days as it monitors the uptick in COVID-19. The mask order, which was set to expire on April 18, will run through May 3 to allow more time for the CDC to study the impact of the BA.2 subvariant in the country. The US is now averaging about 30,000 new COVID-19 cases, 500 deaths, and 1,400 hospitalizations every day, according to the latest CDC data. Currently, the infection rate is increasing in countries like India, China, the UK, the USA, South Korea, Vietnam, Italy, Germany, and France. The experts in Nepal has urged caution as cases are rising in India. As India shares an open border with Nepal, infection in the southern neighbor is likely to reach Nepal soon. Although the infection rate is less at present, the government has urged one and all to abide by health standards to avoid infection. The World Health Organization believes that mandatory use of face masks and full vaccination will ward off the effects of the new variant. And now the news from economic front. The suspended governor of Nepal Rashtra Bank, Mahaprasad Adhikari, has filed a writ petition at the Supreme Court on Sunday challenging the decision of the Council of Ministers to suspend him. Spokesperson at the SC, Bimal Paudel, confirmed that Adhikari's writ petition was registered at the SC. In his petition, Adhikari has demanded the court to scrap the government decision to form a probe committee without prior information. Hearing on the petition would be conducted on Tuesday. The justice government has formed a panel under the leadership of former SC Justice Purushottam Bhandari to probe into Adhikari, leading to his suspension from the post of the central bank's governor. Time for a short break here at Janata Bulletin. Stay tuned for international news. On target in the eastern Afghanistan provinces of Khost and Kunar on Saturday has risen to at least 47, officials said. 41 civilians were killed and 22 others were wounded in airstrikes by Pakistani forces near the Durand line in Khost province. Two other officials confirmed the death toll in Khost, while an Afghan official said on Saturday that 6 people were killed in Kunar province. The Pakistani military has not commented on the attacks, but on Sunday the Foreign Ministry in Islamabad urged the Taliban authorities in Kabul to take stern actions against armed fighters launching attacks against Pakistan from Afghan soil. Border transition between Pakistan and Afghanistan have risen since the Taliban seized power last year, with Islamabad claiming armed groups are carrying out regular attacks from Afghan soil. It is not clear, however, whether Pakistan's new Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif will be supportive of the Afghan Taliban. The Taliban deny harboring Pakistani armed fighters, but are also infuriated by the fence Islamabad is erecting along the two countries' 2,700 kilometers shared border, as reported by news agencies. A Russia ultimatum for last remaining Ukrainian forces in Mariupol to surrender has expired as Moscow seems poised for the major strategic victory in the southeastern port city. The Russian armed forces issued an ultimatum on Saturday, urging their opponents to lay down their arms by 6 a.m. Moscow time on Sunday and to evacuate before 1 p.m. It is not known how many soldiers are in the steelwork. Satellite images have shown smoke and fire coming from the area, which is riddled with tunnels underneath. Russia claims to have brought Mariupol, Ukraine's main sea of Azov port, under the control. An assistant to the city's mayor said Russia was giving passes to hundreds of civilians for permission to move around central parts of the city. If confirmed, Mariupol would be Russia's biggest capture since it launched its invasion nearly 2 months ago, enabling Moscow to connect territory it holds in Donbass with the Crimean region it annexed in 2014, as reported by Al Jazeera. You are watching Janata Bulletin, and now the latest from the world of sports. Second half goals from Ruben Loftus-Cheek and Mason Mount saw Chelsea overcome Crystal Palace 2-0 in the FA Cup semi-final at Wembley Stadium on Saturday and set up a showdown with Liverpool. Former Palace loan Loftus-Cheek put Chelsea ahead after 65 minutes when Kai Havertz crossed from right took a deflection about to a winger who hammered a shot that hit defender Joachim Anderson and flew into the net. Mount added a crucial goal against just over 10 minutes later and sealed the victory for Chelsea, playing Timo Werner ball from the edge of the box past Ederson with his first touch and burying it past goalkeeper Jack Butland with his second. Thomas Tuchel's Chelsea ground down a hard-working Palace team and will meet Liverpool at Wembley again in a rematch of the League Cup final, which they lost in penalties in February. Karim Benzema scored a late winner as Real Madrid fought back from 2 goals down to beat Sevilla and close in on the La Liga title. The hosts turned real in the first half, though Ivan Rakitic's free kick and Eric Lamela's close-range strike. The visitors pulled out back early in the second half through Rodrigo before substitute. Nacho drove in an equalizer late on. Benzema then completed the remarkable turnaround in stoppage time. The striker squeezed a shot past Bruno Bono from a cutback to make sure the visitors took a huge win that moves from 15 points clear at the top of the table with 6 games remaining. The total goal continued Benzema's excellent form and season and added to the recent match-winning heroics. The France international scored a hat-trick against Chelsea in the first leg of the Champions League quarter-finals before the goal in the second leg last week sealed an aggregate 5-4 win. Sevilla, who would have gone second with a win and caught the gap at the top to 9 points, remain third, level on 60 points with second-placed Barcelona and Atletico Madrid in fourth. We are at the end of Janata Bulletin and the headlines once again. Coalition partners speed up seat distribution for local poll. Final decision will be taken after studying reports from the districts. Election fever grips the nation. Election Commission ready to hold polls on May 13. News of variant of COVID-19 reporting in several countries. Government urges to maintain health standards to avoid infection. Death toll from Pakistan's air raids in Afghanistan rises. Officials claim 47 people have been killed in cross-border strike. And Chelsea beat Crystal Palace to reach FA Cup final. The victory sets up showdown with Liverpool. And that's all from the English News Desk for today. You can follow Janata Television and our programs on various social media platforms, including on our website janatasamachar.com. Keep watching Janata Television. Namaste.